Welcome to episode 63 on the law rapport. Today I'm going to deal with the firearm related offences detention and bail amendment ordinance 2022, and these amendments were made to the ordinance last year as a response to the astronomical rise in gun-related offences in the Turks and Caicos Islands in 2022. Now, the most significant aspect or impact of this amendment, in my respectful view, is that for eons, the legal principle was that a person could only be held without charge in police custody for 48 hours. If the police, under the ordinance, the firearm related offences ordinance, wanted to keep a person in custody beyond a 48-hour period, they would have had to apply to the court for a warrant of further detention. This amendment changes everything without public input and consultations. And what we now have is that a person could be held in police custody without charge for up to 72 hours in the first instance and a further 72 hours if the commissioner deems it necessary. So that is a total of 6 days without charge before the law requires the police to apply to the court for a warrant of further detention. Now, let us look at the amendments a little closer. But before I do, my usual disclaimer: this is not legal advice, should not be construed as such. For legal advice, please contact an attorney of your choice. Welcome back. Section 3 of the ordinance now empowers police officers to detain a person whom they reasonably suspect of committing any of the offences listed in the schedule to the ordinance for a period not exceeding 72 hours in the first instance. Section 3.5 empowers the Commissioner of Police on reasonable grounds to believe that the continued detention of that person is necessary beyond 72 hours to increase that detention to another 72 hours. The commissioner may do so if he believes that it is necessary to obtain, secure, or preserve evidence. B, to allow investigators to obtain sufficient time to obtain forensic testing results. C, to prevent interference with the investigation. And D, to prevent the commission of further offences. Now, the offences that are listed in the schedule to this ordinance are A. Possession of a firearm or imitation firearm with intent to commit an offense or a serious offense, or intent to resist or prevent the lawful arrest or detention of himself or another, or with intent to put another person in fear. B. Shooting or wounding with intent to do grievous bodily harm or inflicting grievous bodily harm. Robbery, aggravated burglary, assault with intent to rob. D. Burglary, burglary in a dwelling house, if any person in the dwelling house was subject to violence or the threat of violence. Assault, occasionally actual bodily harm. F. Possession of or use of firearm ammunition with intent to endanger life or cause injury to property. G. Possession of firearm ammunition without a license, a certificate or permit contrary to the provisions of the Firearms Ordinance. H. Sexual assault. I. An offense involving the possession or use of a weapon of offense. J. A criminal act involving a firearm. Now, Section 4 of the principal ordinance dealing with wrongful detention without charge is amended by repealing and substituting the following. Within the period of detention under Section 3.5, a police officer at least of the rank of superintendent may apply to the court for a warrant for further detention. Previously, before the ordinance was amended, a police officer of at least the rank of superintendent must have applied to the court for further detention within a 48-hour period. Now, he is only entitled to do so within a 6-day period, which is the first 72 hours of detention, and if the commissioner finds it necessary, and extend it to further 72 hours, then within that period. So it would be within the period of the second 72-hour detention. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Turks and Caicos Islands, it is no longer that the police can hold you in custody for 48 hours. That law has effectively been repealed. That concept is no longer in operation. That legal concept has been gutted from the legal landscape of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and it has been done without any proper public consultations, and it is something that the general public, especially our young men and women, should be very mindful of. Here is where I am going to leave this episode for today. I thank you for watching. If you need any clarification at any point, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Most of all, I thank you for taking the time out to watch this episode. Cheers.